Hello everybody, Rachel Sawani here. I'm back again with another energy update, a monthly energy update for the month of April 2022. I have a lot of different guides here, a couple main guides who want to step forward to share some messages with you today about what's going on in April, what to expect, how the energies are shifting and changing, and what is being asked of us as we move into these changes, or move through these changes, I should say. The first guide who came forward was Sanat Kumara, and I'll show a picture of his card, and the cards are from the Keepers of the Light deck. I did sense his twin flame around earlier today during our mediumship practice that is hosted every Thursday on my private Facebook group page. So if you're ever interested in joining that, you can find the link to my group in the descriptions box. But basically, she came through and her energy came in kind of strong, and she was really trying to get my attention, so I wasn't really sure how it all related at the time because I couldn't fully tune into her at the time. But now that I'm seeing he's wanting to step forward, there is a connection. They are twin flames, and they are both from the planet Venus, and considered ascended masters in their own right. And Sanat Kumara is also known and worshipped through the Hindu culture, I believe. I don't know a lot about him. He's not a guide I have channeled very often. I have channeled Lady Venus a couple times, but I'm curious what they would like to share with us today about April and what's coming up in April. I also have a few other guides that stepped forward. I felt Isis around earlier, like she might have something to share, so we might tune into her later, or just whoever wants to come through. I did ask for messages to be shared through different cards that I pull, which I usually do in all of my readings, and I pulled from a few different decks, and a couple other guides showed up in those decks as well. So we have a lot to cover, but yeah, hopefully you will find this information helpful. Okay, so I'm going to just start by tuning in to Sanat Kumara and see where he would like to start with his message for the energy updates. He's highlighting collective. He's saying the collective energies at this time are steadily increasing in their, he's using the word dynamic, or the dynamic is intensifying. The light on the planet is increasing as the dynamic playing out within the collective is steadily increasing in friction and momentum. And he's also highlighting catalytic conclusions. With catalytic conclusions, there's a lot of words coming in. I don't channel him very often, so I'm getting words first and then kind of what an explanation maybe of what those words mean. So let me just tune in again. A catalytic conclusion, he was saying. He's using the word deterrent. He's saying there are many deterrents. The energies are attempting to shift and deter you away. The energies moving through the collective are intended to shift and deter you away from matters of the heart, from resolving inner conflicts within, by becoming caught up experientially in the conflicts that are taking place on the worldwide stage. Know that these conflicts have been, he's saying self-created or self-generated, and he's also saying have been concluded to be. And he's using the word like a spectacle. He's using the word spectacle as if they are putting on a show. Believe and understand this presentation, these presentations, or many of these presentations are simply spectacles of a higher design. And he's showing there's a twofold meaning to that. It means in one part, everything is divinely orchestrated, so he's highlighting that. And there's nothing to fear. This is all source created in a higher perspective, but on a third dimensional perspective, from a lower point of view, and from that point of view and perspective, much of this was created, is fictional in its own right, in the sense of how it has been generated to distract and deter people away from matters of the heart, from their heart, from paying attention to what's going on in here, and from creating feelings of friction, incongruence, incoherence. Deeply seated wounds are being triggered and resurfacing throughout the collective at this time for the ultimate purpose of being healed. The ultimate purpose is always in God's hands and is of God's doing and creation and self-creation. However, it is not always perceived that way at the third dimensional realm because many are caught in the trap of fear and illusionment, or I'm thinking, does he mean disillusionment or illusionment? He's just saying illusion. Fear in the form of illusion distracts and takes energy away from one's ability to live pure of heart and in alignment with their highest path and highest intention and mission as light workers. There is always the potential to get caught in the trap of fear, he is showing. And this is something to be aware of, to pay attention up to, especially when you're reading the news, especially when you're listening to the media. He's calling it the false media in a sense, because nothing is really fully as they show it to be. There's always a hidden agenda in how they present information and even in what they choose to present to you in the form of truth, he is saying. So use discernment to understand from a heart perspective what is creating more fear, what is used to generate more fear, the outcome of fear and panic, and what is used to ground and anchor in the feeling of love, truth, and unity, and oneness, and acceptance of your brother and your sister in all countries, in all places, and in all stages of human development, is what he's showing. Because we are in spiritual development, because we are all at different levels of spiritual development. So it is crucial for us light workers to include and accept all of our brothers and sisters, regardless of what side they are on, regardless of how they may be perceiving us to be, as in you, as in your own right to be, may be questioned by others who are also claiming to speak truth in this community. But oneness is required from a higher perspective for all to take their divine place, or the divine right, for the divine birthright for all mankind to stand in unity consciousness with all, in Christ consciousness. And Christ is love. Christ is teaching love and acceptance of your brother and sister, regardless of whether or not you disagree or the ways that you may or may not resonate with each other's truth. At the time, he's saying it is okay. It is okay not to resonate with one another, and it is okay to accept that place in time that one does not resonate. But love is needed. Love is needed, Non-judgment is needed. The perspective of loving one's brother as yourself, or loving one another as yourself, as Christ would loved all as himself and would have loved you, and accepted you, and as he does accept you, from this perspective, from this higher state of truth, one must learn to perceive and view others in the same light. So call on Christ for help, for assistance with learning to see your brothers and sisters in a new light when there is friction, when there is turmoil or discord, is what he's saying. At times when there is discord, he's highlighting compassion and love and empathy are the three most important factors in helping to balance those feelings of fear. Fear of another is essentially what is being triggered. The fear of somebody taking something away from us that is rightfully ours, that there's not enough for us to share, that there is not enough to go around. That's one aspect of it. These are the types of excuse me, fears that are being triggered deep within the collective consciousness, and the wounds he's showing that are coming up to be cleared and to be seen and to be looked at more closely. But essentially, from that higher perspective of love, we are able to heal these wounds and reconnect again as a brotherhood of man, which is ultimately what we are being guided to do and what we are being assisted to do by those from other planetary systems, such as Venus and the other galactic races that are here to help, the Pleiadians and so on. So he's highlighting Lady Venus. So I'm going to see if Lady Venus wants to say anything. She's just saying, as twin flame of Lord Sanat Kumara, she's saying, we are one, we are in service to the whole as one. We serve as one to assist and help humanity raise in their vibration of love, to know that the planet Venus is a planet of love, and the divine feminine energies that support this raise in consciousness are supported by us, the Venetians, who come from the planetary system of Venus and are here to help and assist mankind raise in vibration in any way we can. We support this process through our downloads and activations that allow you to rise in consciousness and awareness of the ways that you love and are needing love. And in this sense, we help you to see by looking within and at your own reflection what is lacking, what your energetic system, where imbalances within your system are being shown, the areas that are lacking in needing of your own attention and your own pure love. Unconditional love is the frequency that we help raise your consciousness and awareness to align with this higher frequency and to extend your love and grace to all beings who are on your earth and in the galactic realms. And this is our main mission, and our main guidance for you is to simply love yourselves as you are one with God, the divine source energy. And He is love. Love is His most purest frequency, is the most purest vibration of all the galaxy, of all the universe. And thus, you will rise to meet us in harmony and as one when you rise in your abilities to love yourselves and one another as yourselves, as Christ has taught you and has planted the seed of love for His love to grow within all of you and to flower, to seed and to flower, fulfilling higher potentials and higher outcomes of manifestation, abundance, and self-exploration that will lead you back to your own divine connection with Source, helping you to remember how this connection strengthens you, builds you up in times of distress, and allows you to see beyond the fear and what is put before you in the physical world as an obstacle. For love is the greatest healer, the greatest force and healing force and activating force for all love to grow, for all highest potentials and outcomes to be met. So remember this, dear ones, and call on Venus, call on the planet Venus to shower its love abundantly on you, to help you remember your own worth, your own passion, your own truth in this way, helping to reconnect you to your heart, to the heart of Source, Creator, in a way that supports all of your growth and helps you all to align with the highest power of the One Divine. Love that is within us all is what she's saying. So, very powerful messages coming through. Thank you, Sanat Kumara and Lady Venus. I'm feeling a draw to bring in Isis, and she's here to talk about, Isis. Let me ask her to step forward. I felt like I was hearing her say something about magic. And she's saying manifesting miracles. It is a time for magic and miracles on earth. There's many happenings, many changes, and many distortions, and yet the miracles that are taking place on a scale that has never since been known to man or experienced by man on this level. The manifestations, the accelerated manifestations that are taking place, it feels like she's showing that we've achieved a new level of status in our ascension process, a new level of awareness of our capabilities, of our own power and capabilities, especially those in the lightworker community who have been actively receiving these messages and tuning to these higher channeled messages and guidance for some time now, are really activating these manifestation powers in their own life and seeing how these signs and synchronicities and how things are really lining up and really becoming tuned for them. Their lives are tuning in a way that things are getting easier. The flow of energy is coming in easier. Abundance is coming in easier. She's also highlighting Lord Ganesh because he came out. The activations around abundance are taking place, especially with the spring equinox that just passed, and we're still in the beginning, early ages of spring. And so she's showing these activations of abundance are really accelerating, are starting to pick up speed and accelerate, and we are being blessed by Lord Ganesh at this time in that way, and we are being blessed with the joyful, playful spirit of a child. So it feels like this is what Lord Ganesh is blessing us with, the ability to tap into our inner child, our playful side, our playful spirit. I'm seeing a lot of golden light, a lot of gold, and gold has been a color that just keeps reoccurring and coming up. It's a new moon in Aries today. Aries is the sign of fire and passion and creativity and in expression and leadership, and I really feel in strength. I'm hearing there's a lot of that fiery energy with the Aries sign, and I know they're movers, and so that's kind of the season of Aries is what we're in astrologically speaking, and will be for a little while. So that's really pushing us into this like playful, abundant mode. Just go out and play, go out and enjoy life. Get outside, get into nature, and that card came up. And it says, the miracle of nature. Thank you, angels, for helping me to reconnect through nature and fresh air. So Isis is talking again, and she's going back to the cycles of nature, how we tune our energy to the cycles of the moon to heighten our powers of manifestation and our awareness of how we are all connected to the earth energy, and how the moon helps us to release what is no longer needed. She is highlighting the time of release, but just to finish this card, the miracle of nature, she's saying go out and play in nature more. Enjoy this time of year where things are starting to blossom and the flowers are fragrant. She's showing the smells of the flowers. Go out and smell the roses is what she's saying, and play in the sun and play in the rain, and just plant a garden or be involved somehow in helping to grow something from a seed and sprout something to bear fruit. Just connecting with nature in all the different ways that we can. Take more walks outside when the weather starts to warm up, or when you feel a draw to connect with nature, do so. And remember your playful spirit through nature. And so she was saying yes, but she was starting to go into what's being revealed is what she's saying. What is being revealed? And this came through in these 4 cards. She's saying this month, and the new moon energy is kind of bringing this forward, because a lot of us, I noticed in my group anyways, we're feeling the couple days leading up to the new moon energy, and I'm giving this reading on March 31st, so today is the actual day of the full new moon, but it's either new moon energy mixed with ascension waves. There's just some intense energies coming through that many of us were feeling in a very similar way, like as heavy, dense energies of collective energies that are wanting to be transmuted. And so so fears in the collective that might show up as also emotional energy stuck in our body that might need to be released. So anyways, we're dealing with that right now, but looking forward into April, she's saying this trend will continue. This trend will continue. You will continue to feel these ups and downs in waves of shorter and longer waves of intense energy that is essentially lifting up the denser energies. The intense energies of the ascension waves are essentially, she's saying, lifting up and out of Mother Earth the denser energies that are ready to be cleared and healed. And this is including the collective wounds and traumas that are ready to surface. And some of us might feel them surfacing in us on an individual level or on a collective level. We may be tuning in individually to our own traumas that are ready to be released, which is most likely the case, or some of us might just generally be feeling a general cloud or mood of dissatisfaction or dis-ease or sadness, grief, anger. It could show itself in many different ways, but whatever is the triggering emotion is the emotion that is ready to be released, and it's no longer serving us in that time. So tuning to that is the first step in being aware of it, and how the energies call us to do that. But these are the main themes, it feels like, that she's saying are going to be present within the collective that are wanting to be transmuted. And the first one, well, this isn't the energy itself. This one is going along with the previous message, make time for self-care. So she's saying, she's stressing it, though it goes along with the what needs to be cleared, because it's all about, tuning to yourself and being aware of the times that you need to rest and the times that you need to ground, and the times that you need to, take care of yourself more, whether that means choosing the right foods, detoxing, whatever it means to keep your energy levels at a stable place and at a high vibration as much as is possible. and to feel balanced within. So there are times where rest is needed as part of our self-care routine, or just more time out in nature, as she was saying before, more playtime, as she was saying before. It's just being more tuned to our bodies and what our bodies need at these times when these energies intensify is really the trick to being able to ride the wave in a more balanced way and fashion. So that's very much highlighted all throughout the month of April, she's showing. And the other wound in area of healing is forgiveness heals, is what it says, and time to release repressed anger as it's blocking your health and happiness. She's saying anger is a big one. Anger is a big one. There's a lot of anger in the collective being stirred up right now for many different reasons. There's many different forces at play that's in situations that are triggering this response in men and women. And it's important to address these feelings as they come up in the moment, to one, take a moment to acknowledge the feeling, to take a look at it, and instead of just acting out the feeling as you go about your day, when you notice that you're feeling irritable or angry, take a moment to sit with that feeling, take a moment to connect in with that feeling and to understand where that is coming from and what that feeling or emotion is essentially trying to tell you, because there's a message for you in that experience of that vibration, something that's wanting you to become aware of. And so always sitting with the emotion and understanding the emotion, and then being intuitively led in the direction to what is the best way for you to release that emotion in a healthy and non-harmful way. And so that means, expressing it and releasing it in an authentic way, but not in a way that's going to harm another person. So we don't want to be taking out our anger on somebody else. We want to be recognizing and owning that feeling through our awareness of it, and then releasing it. And that's part of our process right now of healing that we are going through. These feelings are going to be coming up and out, and there's guides that you can call on that will help you transmute these energies. You can have guides. Your guides help do that for you, and through like a meditation, or just ask them to cut the cords, or whatever it is that you feel guided to do in that moment. Or you can go in through your own meditative emotional release and talk to the feeling, and talk to the area in your body that is feeling that, and tell that area you're okay, and you will hold space and give your body permission to release it. There's definitely different ways out there for emotional releasing. And so but the other one is clearing negativity. So this is what feels like is a really important task, especially for this month, but even moving throughout the year. I feel like this is always going to be an important task, but there's a significance in clearing negativity. It says release negativity from within or around you. There's significance in this time period with that process for us being really coming into the forefront as part of our collective work and duty, is what I'm hearing. And this is Sanat Kumara coming back. I feel him kind of coming in now and sharing this message. It's about emotional healing, that's the name of the game, truly, for true harmony to exist on this earth plane. One must, be within harmony within oneself, and emotional harmony, at peace within. And true peace within is non-judgment, so is not acting out towards others in a way that is shameful, or blaming others, or projecting, or what's the other word? Not projecting, but promoting or perpetuating. I'm sorry, that's the word. Perpetuating the expression of these anger and all of these things, putting that vibration back into the world, instead harnessing within one's own power the ability to sustain one's own energetic system in a balanced and harmonized way, is what will help the collective to do the same, and will help create that in the collective energy as well. And that will transmute a lot of the darker intentions and distortions of truth that are being broadcast out there freely. There's a free amount, a lot of dark information being broadcast, but the reality is that when we rise to a frequency where those frequencies cannot touch us anymore, they don't even get into our awareness, then it becomes easier for us to see the light, see the truth, and not get caught up in those up and down, those really drastic up and down cycles. So it feels like that's the guidance that we're being given by Sanat Kumara and Isis. Isis is really stressing self-care, is what she's stressing. She has a lot of like motherly energy with her, around her as well, Mother Mary energy. I've channeled a few times that's her energy is very strong on the planet right now, and helping to lift our vibration and bring us back into alignment with the divine feminine energy. So that's why Isis is here, and Lady Venus as well. And then Sanat Kumara is just stressing the reason and purpose why it's important for us to take on this work for the collective and for the healing. And then this card is talking about the life lessons. You can break free from recurring negative patterns by praying to know the lesson and blessing they contain. So always look to the lesson and the blessing. Always look to the positive in the outcome and the purpose for going through a difficult and challenging time. He's saying many of you will be encountering challenges and going through difficult times as you go through this period, process of transformation and adjustment to the different energies coming in and out. Some of you will get knocked down a few times, or will be put in situations where your faith will be tested, but always learn to see the positive, and that's where hope comes in. And hope has been a really a strong message that's come through a lot of my channelings recently. Archangel Hope has come in strong. Maybe it was my last, it might have been my last monthly update that she came in. I can't remember which one it was, either the spring equinox. There's been a lot, or the March update. There's been a lot happening though, and it's important that we keep up with the changes and where the energy is moving. So another important aspect is focus your mind. And I feel Metatron coming in here, because Metatron, I pulled his card, but he's always around me anyways. But his card says, clear your vibes, Archangel Metatron. Thank you, Metatron, for clearing my energy field. And so let me tune in, and it's so interesting because we've got the sacred geometry, the sign behind Metatron, and I think is Metatron's cube, or I think so. I think that's what it is. I don't know all the terms for the sacred geometry as much as I, recognize the symbols, but it seems to be a similar symbol as being presented here. So that's really interesting. It says, okay, so let me tune into Metatron for this. Clear your vibes, he's saying. Use your intention. Use the intention of your mind to clear your energy field regularly. He's saying regular energy maintenance is really important at this time, because a lot, when this toxic energy is released out into the collective, a lot of that can kind of, there's a residue that comes with that. It can kind of get stuck to us if we're not really aware and proactive about clearing our energy fields. And there's different ways to do this, but you can call on Archangel Metatron to help you with that, and that's what this card is really about. So ask him for help, but set your intention on clearing your energy at least once a day, or creating some kind of protective energy bubble. He's showing if you're really empathic and you're feeling like you struggle to, like you pick up on people's energy really easily, and maybe you absorb their energy, and sometimes you're not sure if it's your energy or their energy. Just call on your angels to clear, and the violet flame also is a powerful tool in not manifesting but transmuting energies. So just protecting your own energy, he's showing. And it's interesting because Archangel Michael came out with his card that you are protected, and it says, thank you, Michael, for surrounding me with your protective light. They're showing me that when you're in a situation where you're around a lot of people, or you're around people that maybe aren't as high vibe or really tuned to the spiritual aspect of life, and they're talking about topics that maybe make you feel uncomfortable, or they're just the energy just feels denser to you, just make sure you envision yourself being protected with that white light, so that like this energy is bouncing off of you and not being absorbed into your energy field. Just more clearing is needed. That's the general message, is what I'm hearing. More attention to clearing your own fields is needed at this time, because there's a lot coming in, and it's a mix of energy, and so it's stirring up a lot of stuff. And so some of it might be ours, but some of it might not be ours. So we really have to protect our energy as much as we have to be aware of how what energy we're sending out. We need to be aware of what energy we are accepting into our space and holding on to that may not be ours, and or for our highest good. So focus your mind back to this card. Anything you'd like to share with that, Metatron? Yeah, focus your mind, focus your intention, he's saying, on clearing and activating, and understanding how your vibration is either aligning with love or not aligning with love, aligning with lower frequencies, attracting lower frequencies and lower outcomes and manifestations to come your way, or higher resonance fields. So essentially you want to focus on the higher timeline, the higher outcome. Don't focus on what you don't want to create. He's saying it feels like a broken record to hear that sometimes, but it's just so important. You know, they're going to continue to say that on repeat till people start to really wake up to the fact that of what they're actually doing, sometimes by allowing certain thoughts to circulate in their mind, especially thoughts that are critical towards self, thoughts that are critical towards others, are not helping to resolve any peace or create peace on earth or resolve any conflicts. They're just negative, lower vibrational perspectives to have, and they're not of the fifth dimensional consciousness that we are all attempting to integrate and align with on our paths. So he's drawing my attention to read, thank you, angels, for helping me to focus on my priorities. So what are your priorities? And then he's taking me to this card, which is kind of funny because this card comes out, I think it came out in the last 3 or 4 readings I've done, whatever being it is from. If I'm pulling from the Metatron deck, I'm getting this message. It's almost a guarantee, and I laugh every time it comes out. What are your priorities? This is from Metatron's Oracle card deck by Amanda Ellis that I pulled from. Actually, my decks are behind me. It's from this deck. I talk about it a lot, but I do love this deck. It's very high vibrational. It's got gold, plated around the card. But anyways, the building blocks, yes, the priorities in your life. What are you focusing your intention on? He's like, that's all I'm going to say. He's like about that, because this card has been brought up many times in the past, and many messages have been given around that card. But the building blocks of life is the point. What's going to create your sacred geometry of that strong pyramid? What's going to anchor you in? What's going to make you a strong give you a strong foundation. What's most important to you? What do you value the most? And that's what you give your time and attention to. If it's draining your energy, if it's draining your battery, don't give your attention to it. And that goes for things like social media, he's saying. Anything, especially the things that you watch and put in your mind, if it's draining your energy and it feels like a brain drain type of activity, it's not really giving you anything, then choose to draw your awareness somewhere else. Meditation, there's many online activation videos that you could watch, or just high vibrational frequency or music that you can listen to that'll help to put you in a meditative state. Tune into your guides more, channel advice, pull cards, just tune out, any source of information that is not of the highest vibration, to help, keep your system tuned energetically to what is most in alignment for you. And then the guidance will come. You will be guided in ways that you would not expect, and you will be able to then be directed into areas that may be new to you, that will help to expand your growth and your own awareness of what is good for you and what you like, what your soul desires to experience. So sometimes we get stuck in a certain place because we get stuck on a certain frequency of life and seeing life from a very limited perspective because of the frequency that we are choosing to view it from and or take in as truth. And there's so much higher potential out there. So tune into someone who's doing who's giving information that's coming from a higher perspective, a perspective that's new to you in a way, and that gives you a greater and broader sense of what is happening on a multidimensional perspective. So he's just saying tune your channels to tune your dials to radio stations, and he's not talking about necessarily like angels and guides, but just physical radio stations and broadcasts of whether it comes to like shows we're watching or just what we're taking in through the video content and reading material and things that we listen to, because this is the digital age, so there's just information is free flowing at all times. So just be reading and looking for things and curious and seeking out information from sources that are of a higher frequency, where you are learning and expanding in higher ways, evolving in those accelerated ways, is what he's saying. And this card came from his deck, Metatron's deck. And it's red. I feel like this is another one that I've seen before recently. Safety, strength, and power. He's just saying know your own power. Know your own power to set your intentions and create what you want to create. That's really all there is to it. He's saying when it comes to moving through the ascension waves and the ascension process, as we move through spring, he's saying heightened awareness around the ways that you are building strength and fortitude to stand as that full mature tree, to grow into that of that stature, and to know your own worth and your own value and what is right for you, and coming into alignment with that on your path is what's going to give you strength and power. And then this card came out from the other deck. I still have Metatron here. Honor your beauty, and this is Archangel Jophiel. Thank you, Jophiel, for helping me discover my inner and outer beauty. So the message here is just, it's all about self-discovery. So discovering what lies within your own beauty, he's saying, is really coming out and allowing yourself to just shine like the light that you are, and to be one with that and be okay with the ways that you are different from others and that you are all beautiful in your own way. So just honoring your own process of self-discovery and your own inner beauty inner and outer beauty, it says. So outer beauty shines through when you are aware of your own inner beauty and how you are beautiful on the inside and out, and your acceptance and loving all of yourselves and all of your parts is really what it's about. Okay, so I did ask for a couple messages to come through that are come from my, I call it my galactic deck, but it's a Work Your Light Oracle cards, but it has a more of a galactic feel to it, and messages from the galactics come through this deck. So I was kind of asking what messages from them would like to come through, and this one came out first, and it's the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And then the second one is You're Already Doing It. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. So it's still Metatron here. He's saying these are the obvious, but not so obvious. He's saying you're already doing it. You know, you've been training for this for lifetimes. He's saying this is where you're all at. You're all coming into this place of alignment on your paths where you're starting to see that how supported you are and how strong your community is when you come together and you work together. You've been training for this and you are ready for this, and so the next steps are being laid before you, and that's where You're Already Doing It comes in, he says, because you're already facing your true north. You're already moving in the right direction, so just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep taking the next steps. It doesn't have to be complicated, he's saying. Don't stress over it. He's saying nothing about this should be stressful in the sense that nobody should be afraid of where they're going and where they're ending up, that they're not doing enough or that they're not doing it right or that they're missing something. You're not going to miss anything. Why, he's saying? Because we're not going to let you. We're not going to let you miss anything because you've got all your guides right here just waiting to drop that information. If you missed it the first time, we're going to drop it again. If you missed it the second time, we're going to drop it again, and we're going to make it louder and bolder. If you're asking us for help, if you're asking your spirit guides for help, Metatron saying, then know that we are helping and just pay attention. That's the most work you have to do is just look around and pay attention. And when something gets your attention, draws your awareness, and you see it once and you think, that's interesting, I noticed that. Then you see it again, and then maybe even again. That's us getting your attention. You don't have to necessarily channel the direct answer from us every single time. He's saying, although some of you wish to do that even after you've received the confirmation in the physical, he's saying you ask for more confirmation, and that's okay. You're building your trust in the process and your confidence in your connection with us. But just know that we are always leading you, and we are always dropping hints and suggestions and next steps for you to go. It is usually fear and resistance that keeps you stuck or feeling stuck and stagnant. So if you're feeling stuck and stagnant, look into what's holding you back, what fear is there that is ready to be released, because even that is a timely thing to do. So essentially, your fears coming up are also giving you lessons in a way, or helping you on your path by showing you what needs to be cleared to release and move forward. And lastly, I've been feeling a lot of, so thank you Metatron for that and all those messages that came through. Lastly, I want to bring in the unicorns because I've been feeling their energy a lot lately, and they came up again today. There was some dense energy that we as a group were feeling in the mediumship practice I was telling you about earlier, and I had to acknowledge the energy. I had to tune into Archangel Michael to kind of help me understand what was going on and to help clear that energy. But then I was also guided to talk about the unicorns because I've been working with them in my own personal work. And I've also had them come in for clients recently and kind of explain to me a little bit more about how they're helping us. So I have this unicorn deck, and I felt prompted to pull cards from the unicorn deck, and we're talking about the word moving, and in here that card came up. So how the unicorns are helping us. This card moving came up, and it says change is happening, so be prepared to move physically or spiritually. So I'm going to take a minute to, whoa, I feel the unicorns coming in. It's like a really high vibrational energy, goes right into the heart, and it's just like, whew. So, okay, I wasn't sure if I was connecting with them, but then as soon as I had that thought, I felt the connection come in really strong. Yes, the unicorns are here, I'm hearing. So change is happening, so be prepared to move physically or spiritually. What messages would you like to share around that? Changes are happening in the physical that are causing many to have the desire to get up and physically move. So there are a lot of physical manifestations in the ways of laws and circumstances and jobs, like all of these things that are prompting people to move. And so it's funny, I keep using the word prompting, but here it is in this next card, the word prompting. The card says prompting, call a friend today. So I feel like it's relevant to why I keep wanting to use the word prompting. So these two cards go together is what they're showing. The word prompting and moving, it's like the energies are prompting one to move. So prompting one to move is really the higher message, physically speaking. So this feels like a physical, make a physical adjustment in your space, they're saying. So altering your physical space and your physical surroundings in some ways that brings more light energy in, that's clearing the pathway for more light to flow in, is really important at this time, and to help balance the energies that are shifting. And then physically moving, like meaning like moving locations, switching jobs, moving to new locations, anything that's prompting you to consider a new move. And now is the time is right for that. Spring is a time for moving and readjusting one's own position. Winter is more of a time for resting and hibernation. So things are picking up again. People are being called to move. People are being called to relocate and move to places that are of a higher resonance with where they are at spiritually and emotionally and mentally, and in the ways that they're being called to work and assist as light workers in their own communities. So pay attention to the calling to move, because there's truth to that. There's an energy that is pushing a lot of people to change locations. So, and I would say that as they're saying that, I'm like remembering or realizing that I've channeled. There's been quite a good amount, anyways, of people that I've given readings to lately that have brought that up about there's questions about moving, or I just know of quite a few people that are considering moving or have just moved. So I feel like there's a lot of relevance to that. And then another interesting card came up from the unicorns was the Mother Mary card, which we kind of talked about that, the Isis energy also, the motherly energy, Mother Mary and the unicorns are blessing you. So they're just showing that the unicorns are working with Mother Mary, who again is, I just keep getting such a strong Mother Mary energy on the planet. Like I've given quite a few energy updates with her. She's come through a lot, so she comes through for clients a lot as one of the main guides helping. So just very strong on the planet with Jesus too. She's working very closely with Jesus for healing and activations and Christ consciousness and the divine feminine energy and the nurturing energy of self-compassion and compassion for others, and self-care is what she's showing. Okay, so then the last card they pulled is Divine Sight. See the divine in everyone. That goes back to the message we channeled at the very beginning that I feel came through with Sanat Kumara. So the unicorns are just kind of emphasizing the information, but wanting you to call on them. They are a seventh dimensional frequency, a high vibrational frequency of light healers that come with a lot of source energy that can heal us on a very deep soul level, and also they help us raise our vibration to match that of a higher level, which can burn and transmute through all levels of fear and resistance they're showing, and tune our frequencies, our harmonic frequencies. It feels like they're talking about the body and the chakras and things of that, the light frequencies within our body to activate healing, and like DNA repair and cellular repair and things of that nature. So call on the unicorns to work on you and to heal you, and their magic is very healing. Their energy is very potent, and it mostly comes from their horn. And so a lot of us have a unicorn as a guide, or there is a unicorn around us that we can connect to, similarly as we can call on a dragon to be our guide. We can call on a unicorn guide, and then we can have pick a name for that unicorn, or like a guardian angel, and access their healing, or ask them to heal or help us heal, or whatever it is that we are needing their light and energy at the time. They will help us. So with that, I feel like we covered a lot of ground once again. I hope all these messages made sense to you. It's more of the same to come, essentially, is what I'm hearing. So the messages, they kind of shift and change every month a little bit here and there, according to maybe what's the cycles and the things and the ways the energies are coming in for that month in particular. But basically, there's not, I'd say, after doing these messages for a while now, I'd say, each message is unique and different in its own way, but we're hearing a lot of the similarities as well. So every month, sometimes we get new guides and helpers that show up and step up to help us and give us kind of a little bit more information as to what's going on. But generally speaking, we are going through this process. It's the same overall process. But we're going to feel differently depending on the day and the time and the month and the lunar cycle and all these other components. And so we might struggle with something more one day than we would others, but we're all in this together. So we're all supporting each other by just being here and being present with the changes and being willing to stand in our truth and stand our ground, and utilize the tools that we have, the spiritual tools and the knowledge that we have to transmute and to heal, essentially, and integrate the energies that want to come through and be anchored. And also, they're wanting me to stress grounding. Grounding is really important. Drinking water is really, really important. Eating high vibrational foods is really important. Taking care of, like, resting enough is really important. It's like these are the basics, and this is essentially just this is the ride that we're on and what we're in for as we continue to move forward. Things are going to pick up the pace, so we really do have to stay. And I think that's why these messages are helpful. They're activating to us, and they kind of give us a sense of strength and empowerment to hear from our guides. But essentially, we are the ones doing the work, and that's going to look differently for everybody. And how we feel and on any given day, but we have each other in these communities and these support groups, and that's what my group is there for. So again, if you haven't joined, please do. It's a very high vibrational space. We talk about a lot of different topics. We mostly focus on intuitive development and learning how to practice channeling our guides. But we also support each other in many other ways. So please do consider joining that. Another thing I'd like to talk about, which is new, something new that I just created in the last couple of weeks. I created a Patreon group, so I'm going to leave a link in the descriptions box to my Patreon page, and there is a small pledge, a monthly pledge of $2 to join and become a member of. But it basically, when you support me through Patreon, you are essentially donating to support the work that I do when it comes to creating live events and channeling videos such as these. Also, there is a $5 monthly membership tier where you will receive extra perks in addition to exclusive material and content that is only for the Patreon community. So there will be, at the $2 and $5 level, videos that I release that are only on Patreon. So I'll do extended bonus material, but also like maybe energy updates that I don't post on my YouTube. So please do check that out, and please do help to support me there, because I do spend the majority of my time with the videos and live events, and I don't I love seeing clients too, but I really feel like getting this message out to a greater audience is helping to spread that message even more. So the more that donate in that way, the more time and energy I can justify devoting to the video messages, and then I can give back by doing giveaways, monthly giveaways, and offering personalized messages and readings to those who are a part of that group in return. And so there's just a lot going on, a lot of changes happening. I do appreciate you guys and all of your support and all of your love for this channel. And please always continue to share this with people that are spiritually awakening and that might find this information helpful. And please let me know in the comments how you are feeling these energies and what experiences you are having and how you resonate or feel about the message today. And everybody have a great month of April. I'll see you all again soon. We'll see you later. Oh, wait. Don't forget to like, subscribe, like the video, and subscribe to the channel because that does help get the word out even faster. And do hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when more content is released. And yes, that is all for now. We'll see you soon. See you next time. Bye.